every week. So I have 6 games a week, so I'm happy rather than just having 1 game a week, on the weekends. So the scout team receivers, all of us, we all know like every day's game day, and we definitely approach everything in that fashion and everything, because I truly believe the receivers we have on the scout team is really explosive and they're really great. They just need an opportunity. So, yeah, I'm very thankful. I have those guys.
Sanders finally drops the MIC. But this time, it's not about touchdowns or Heisman chatter. It's about his scout team family, the unsung heroes who usually earn their glory through bruises and Gatorade high fives. In a surprising twist, Sanders puts them in the spotlight, leaving everyone wondering what secrets he just revealed. Did he crown them as the real heroes, roast them like burnt toast, or uncover a full-blown locker room drama? Whatever it is, this isn't your usual football talk. It's reality TV with shoulder pads, and trust me, you won't want to miss it.
Has reported that Shedeur Sanders is not receiving any reps. That means no second team, third team, not even scout team reps. Meaning he's just sitting in practice, throwing the ball to whoever and just going through drills all day. No practice reps? No nothing? He can't improve? Why? Why is he not given an opportunity to even improve his skills? That's the whole point of practice. I understand now letting him go with the ones at this point. You've made it clear. Maybe even second team, but not even scout team reps?
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you think. So, Shedeur Sanders just went public about his so-called scout team family, and instantly, everyone's heads turned like they'd just overheard some juicy gossip at a family barbecue. Because when Shedeur speaks, it's never just talk, it's an event. This isn't the kind of guy who complains about cafeteria food or whines about getting more representatives. When he opens his mouth, people listen.
That reps, but like I've said in all my videos, I think the biggest thing we need to listen to is Shedeur himself. He has come off as humble, understanding the media, patient in every single time. So when the haters are saying that he's a bum and he should be cut, and maybe some people are saying that he should be mad, Shedeur Sanders knows that he's waiting for his time, the perfect time. God's timing, man. Here's what
defining what it means to be the most mature player in a room full of men twice his age, all while being pushed into the background by a Cleveland Browns organization that couldn't recognize good judgment even if it came gift-wrapped with a bow. The whole situation is almost laughable when you really think about it.
Sanders just confirmed that he's ready when he's called. But what shocked everyone is how much he is loving life on the scout team. And trust me, this could flip the entire Browns QB battle.
It's a
the straight definition of what Shedeur meant when he gonna get time to cook and marinate and sitting on the sideline and just learning and being ready and getting prepared better for when his opportunity comes. This is what I was telling y'all about when it was reported that Shedeur was getting no scout team reps. What I meant when I said he was getting no scout team reps is exactly what he said, what I wanted to happen.
The quarterback who deserves to be treated like royalty, standing on the sidelines while Cleveland acts like Joe Flacco's ghost still has something left in the tank. But instead of throwing tantrums or demanding attention, he's out here calling his scout team his family. Not the movie kind of family with Vin Diesel, but the real kind, built on grit, loyalty, and a bunch of linemen who probably crush 4 pizzas after every practice.
Shedeur, who is a 5th-round draft pick, 3rd stringer, to be learning other offenses, to be mimicking other offenses or defenses when he's playing, because sometimes you got to even switch and play the other side of the ball. I have played offense before as scout team. I digress. You don't want him doing anything Atlanta Falcons because you want him to learn the Cleveland Browns way. What does that mean? You're not running scout team. You're going to stand right here, as Tony Rizzo saw or heard, was informed. You're standing right here next to Dylan Gabriel, next to and watching Joe Flacco.
Honestly, that's where the real magic happens. Shedeur isn't bitter, he's not sulking, and he's definitely not throwing shade at the front office. Though, let's be honest, they deserve a total eclipse. Instead, he's shining a light on the guys no one ever talks about, the scout team. These are the players whose entire jobs revolve around pretending to be the opponent so the starters don't embarrass themselves on Sunday. They're the human tackling dummies in cleats, and somehow Shedeur made them sound like the Avengers. It's a total power move. Think about it. The Browns are giving Shedeur less playing time than a water boy gets screen time in a Gatorade commercial, yet he still carries himself like a seasoned veteran. Calling him mature for his age doesn't even begin to describe it. He's out here making the older quarterbacks look like cranky toddlers throwing tantrums over spilled milk, while he quietly builds loyalty with the most overlooked guys on the roster. For the scout team, this moment must have felt like winning the lottery. One day they're invisible, sweating through endless practices, running plays they'll never use, and getting yelled at for not perfectly imitating Patrick Mahomes on a Wednesday, and the next, Shedeur is calling them his brothers. That straight-up Hallmark movie energy, only with shoulder pads. Somewhere in Cleveland, a PR guy probably fainted.
Reps against the first team defense. Listen to what he said now. He said everybody ain't got a Myles Garrett. Everybody ain't got these linebackers we got. Cleveland defense is a solid defense. They got some holes in some places, and the offense can't put up no points right now. But imagine you being a rookie quarterback running scout team against this number one defense in practice. Like he said, he has 6 games.
Let's be honest, the Browns' PR department has been in crisis mode since the Bush administration. Every time it seems like they've finally turned a corner, they somehow end up back in full circus mode, holding open auditions for the role of a functional franchise. And now, they've got Shedeur, a gem of a quarterback who isn't even getting the spotlight he deserves, making the scout team look more valuable than the starters. That's not just maturity, that's next-level, chessboard thinking. The crazy part is, when Shedeur calls those guys his family, it's not some throwaway line, it's real leadership. It's him quietly building an empire from the ground up. While the Browns management wastes time writing love letters to washed-up veterans, Shedeur is investing in the foundation of the team. Think about the long game here. A few years from now, when he's finally allowed to play more than 2 snaps without the coaching staff clutching their pearls, those scout team guys will run through a brick wall for him. And honestly, that just makes Cleveland look even dumber. How do you look at a kid this composed, this level-headed, this natural of a leader, and still say, nah, let's stick with the 39-year-old who moves slower than dial-up internet? It's pure comedy gold.
Myles Garrett, it makes me feel good when Shedeur Sanders feels good. You know why? Because Shedeur gets talked about. He gets hated upon. He gets all of this media screw. People are constantly making Shedeur all the time. It's constant. They went a full week telling you how Shedeur's an idiot. Why didn't he sign with the Browns? See, and this is why Shedeur and Deion are dumb. That's what NFL media tried to tell you for a full week. Look how stupid Shedeur is because they ran out of...
Were a TV show, they'd be asterisk The Office asterisk, but without Jim and Dwight to keep things together. Just Michael Scott, making bad decisions every single episode. Meanwhile, Shedeur is out here quietly rewriting the quarterback handbook. Most young players in the league are busy flashing jewelry on Instagram, whining about their brand, or posting cryptic tweets. Not this kid. He's out here building community with the guys who handle the dirty work, and it's honestly refreshing. But for the Browns, it's also a little terrifying. Because if Shedeur can win hearts without even playing, imagine what'll happen when he finally gets the snaps he deserves. Now, just picture the scout team's reaction. Half of those guys probably thought their biggest compliment this year would be a half-hearted good hustle from an assistant coach. Then suddenly, the team's golden child calls them his asterisk family star. Instant status upgrade. They went from background extras to main characters in the Shedeur Sanders cinematic universe. You just know they're walking around practice with a little extra swagger now, and the starters probably hate it. And that's the beautiful chaos of it all. The Browns' locker room is starting to look less like a professional team and more like a high school cafeteria.
Going on with Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. Is Kevin Stefanski trying to sabotage him? Is Shedeur Sanders getting the reps in practice? A lot of things came out during training camp that, he wasn't getting first team reps. He was getting limited reps, and he was making the best of his opportunities. And a lot of media personnel and a lot of people that was up close at these Cleveland Browns practices in the training camp, when they saw Shedeur on the field, with the opportunities that he was getting, they said Shedeur.
You've got the starters looking salty because they didn't get called family. On the other, the scout squad is walking tall like they're about to drop a diss track. And right in the middle is Shedeur, calm, collected, and sipping metaphorical tea while everyone else scrambles. The funniest part. The way the media tried to spin it. They called it nice. But let's be real, that wasn't nice. That was a calculated flex. Because nothing says I'm the future louder than bonding with the guys at the very bottom of the totem pole. That's how you build loyalty, and Shedeur knows it. Maybe the Browns will fine him for unauthorized bonding activities. Maybe they'll bench him even longer for being too mature. Or maybe they'll just do what they do best. Ignore the obvious until it smacks them in the face on game day. Because if there's one thing the Browns have mastered, it's ignoring talent until it's playing against them. But here's the kicker, Shedeur doesn't care. You can feel it. He's not stressing about the lack of playing time, not pouting, not begging for representatives. He's planting seeds, earning respect, and proving he's got the poise of a 10-year veteran. Deep down, he knows his moment is coming.
The Browns, they really amaze me every single year, and we're only 2 weeks into the season. You guys know the Shedeur Sanders thing has been going since the NFL draft. He was projected to be a top 5 pick, ended up falling all the way to the 5th round. Well, now he's not even getting scout team reps. Per Football Forever, Shedeur Sanders isn't getting any practice reps, not even on scout team, per Tony Rizzo. Hearing Shedeur isn't even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone. Bailey Zappi is running scout team. That's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even there? Rizzo said via ESPN Cleveland. I really wish I knew.
When that moment finally comes, Shedeur's not just going to have fans cheering him on. He'll have an army behind him, including the scout team he turned into true believers. The more you think about it, the clearer it becomes that Shedeur is playing an entirely different game than everyone else. The coaches are stuck on checkers, the front office is still figuring out tic-tac-toe, and Shedeur. He's out here playing 3D chess with a blindfold on, already 3 moves ahead. He knows exactly how this story ends. He doesn't need validation right now, he's just letting Cleveland embarrass itself in the meantime, and let's not overlook the poetic irony of it all. The Browns have spent decades searching for a savior quarterback, decades, and now that they might finally have one, they're keeping him on ice like leftovers no one wants to reheat. Meanwhile, Shedeur is proving that true leadership isn't about Sunday stats. It's about presence, influence, and character. He's showing that by turning the scout team, the overlooked backbone of every roster, into the main event. That's not just maturity, that's revolutionary. That's the kind of thing legends are built on. Sooner or later, even the most stubborn Browns fan will have to admit it. Shedeur isn't just the quarterback of the future, he's the guy right now star. And if the team can't see that, maybe they don't deserve him.
Because a lot of speculation coming into the NFL draft, they said Shedeur Sanders didn't have the arm talent. And Jerry Jeudy put that narrative to bed by saying Shedeur Sanders has one of the best arms in the NFL. He said his arm talent is elite. So we heard what the wide receiver from Cleveland said in Jerry Jeudy. And we also heard what Njoku said, the tight end, and everybody that's surrounded around the Cleveland Browns. We heard what Myles Garrett said.
Only so long you can ignore the obvious before the obvious packs up and wins somewhere else, and honestly, that's the Browns' biggest fear. So for now, all we can do is sit back and enjoy the comedy of it all. Shedeur Sanders, the most mature, composed, and strategic quarterback on the roster, is spending more time hyping up his scout team family than actually getting snaps on game day. It's absurd, it's hilarious, and it's peak Cleveland Browns. But it's also a warning. Because when this kid finally gets his shot, the same people laughing now will be scrambling to keep up. That's the genius of Shedeur. While the Browns trip over themselves, he's out here building something real, something that lasts. He's not chasing headlines or viral moments. He's just being himself, calm, collected, and effortlessly cool. In a franchise that often operates like a blender with the lid off, he actually values the people around him. Even when the Browns front office treats players like disposable chess pawns, Shedeur is out here showing genuine respect. That whole scout team family line? It's perfectly layered, perfectly intentional. Because who else in his position would even think to say that? Most young quarterbacks would be stomping their feet, demanding more playing time, or firing off passive-aggressive tweets like it's a full-time job. But not Shedeur. He's playing the long game and doing it with style.
At this point, y'all are saying he can't do anything right. I recently saw last week when the kicker missed his kick in the last couple seconds, Shedeur went over to give him some words of encouragement, and y'all said that he just wanted some TV time. Newsflash, the only reason why the camera was over there is because Shedeur walked over there. Like, you've been able to have an explanation for everything on why he's not good, why he can't play, but explain why you won't allow him to practice. Explain why you won't allow him to actually get better. Y'all are making it very obvious. You just want to bury him and so we can just stop talking.
Shedeur is out here making the guys who hold clipboards and run fake plays feel like kings. That's Jedi-level maturity. And honestly, those scout team players need it. They're the unsung heroes, the practice field warriors who spend more time pretending to be the Ravens' defense than living their own lives. Every week, they wake up, strap on pads, and basically audition as someone else. It's like being an understudy in a Broadway show that never lets you touch the stage. Then along comes Shedeur, handing out respect like gold medals, and that kind of gesture sticks with people forever. Now imagine how that changes the locker room dynamic. Suddenly, Shedeur isn't just another quarterback fighting for scraps of playing time. He's the glue guy, the bridge between the forgotten men and the spotlight hogs. You can't coach that, and you definitely can't fake it. It's natural. It's instinct. And it makes Cleveland's blindness to his potential even more baffling. While the Browns are busy polishing the helmets of quarterbacks who peaked during the Obama administration, Shedeur is quietly turning every practice into a masterclass in human connection. That's the difference between someone just collecting a paycheck and someone building the foundation for a dynasty. He's not just throwing passes, he's throwing lifelines. And in a league where egos are often bigger than the stadium scoreboards, that kind of humility is nothing short of remarkable.
He's likes to have fun out there, is the best I can describe it. You know, he comes on the field and he's going up to the receivers and like thinking of celebrations to do when we score, like creating celebrations and all that, and that's awesome. It lightens up the mood. Everyone feels right. 'Cause you go in there, especially the first couple of days of minicamp, and everyone's tight, everyone's stiff, everyone's like, I can't make a mistake, I can't mistake. And he's coming up to you asking, you think he has an important question for you? He's like, hey, twin, what celebration do you want to do? Yeah, all right. I like it. Definitely loosens you up and makes you play a little.
Let's keep it real. The Browns coaching staff probably sees all this as a distraction, because that's just how the NFL works. Build a little too much chemistry with the wrong group, and suddenly you're labeled *2 friendly*, as if being well-liked is somehow a bad thing. Meanwhile, the real liability is still jogging onto the field every Sunday, tossing wobbly passes like it's a carnival game at a charity fair. The irony practically writes itself. The Browns have a quarterback who's grounded, mature, and laser-focused on lifting up the team. A guy who's winning hearts without even taking snaps, and instead of embracing it, they're probably sitting around wondering if it threatens the delicate ecosystem of mediocrity they've worked so hard to maintain. But give it time, because loyalty has a way of paying off. When Shedeur finally gets unleashed, those scout team guys he called family are going to block harder, run faster, and give everything on every single play like their lives depend on it. That kind of devotion doesn't show up on a stat sheet. It's the kind of thing that turns promising quarterbacks into legends. And when it happens, Cleveland, bless their chaotic little hearts, will sit there acting shocked, because that's exactly what they do best.